Dude, there are literally people in my comment section telling me I should work on my backdrop, as in it's not pretty enough for YouTube. Do you guys not realize that this is my second channel and I post whenever, I post whatever, and I swear however much I want? Because if not, now is the time to watch someone else's prettier videos, I guess. And to everyone else, today we're learning about how to react to rude people in a polite way in German. I don't know why I always do the pointy fingers. I think I plan on inserting stuff, but then half of the time I just forget. Unwanted explaining. Like you're in a meeting and somebody's just taking up your point that you made with much love, and you took all your courage and told everyone your precious little idea in the meeting, and then some other person chimes in, basically steals your idea from under your ass, and worst of all, everyone thinks it's theirs because they're stupid, and praises them for that. You can't have that. I can't have that. You can't have that. We can't have that. So what can you say to imply that this person kind of stole from you, but not directly? Danke, dass du das nochmal für alle wiederholt hast. Lass doch nochmal drauf zurückkommen. Lass gleich nochmal drauf zurückkommen. Then you can say, cool, super or gut, dass du meinen Vorschlag nochmal angesprochen hast. Cool, dass du meinen Vorschlag nochmal angesprochen hast. Ich würde gern noch hinzufügen, dass, and so on. Ich wollte sowieso nochmal drauf zurückkommen, dass. Lass uns doch bei der Gelegenheit gleich über reden. Or you could also say, weil du meinen Vorschlag gerade nochmal aufgegriffen hast. Ich würde gern noch sagen, dass, guter Punkt, da ich an dem Thema dran bin, lass uns doch direkt noch die Details klären. Guter Punkt, ich hatte vorhin ja gemeint, dass, lass uns doch direkt nochmal darauf zurückkommen. Or you could beat them with their own weapon and be like, ich würde das direkt nochmal kurz für alle zusammenfassen, um sicherzustellen, dass wir das Gleiche meinen. Yeah, that's the one. Now, what do you do if you get like a stupid unwanted email telling you stuff you already know? Just from my experience working in R&D, it's not that rare that your manager, non-scientist boss sends you cool links they think would be helpful to you. And they really aren't. It's just like basic shit. Like a coworker of mine got something like, oh, look at this page that I found. It's called ResearchGate and it's really cool. Yes, it's really cool. Danke. I don't know. But I mean, you can't say, hey, you stupid idiot. Everyone knows this page. It's you who doesn't know this page. You get some background knowledge maybe if you want to manage an R&D section. Oh no, that's rude. You can't say that. But it's not rude to send researchers links to ResearchGate. Oh, that's not rude, of course. Yeah, piss off. Like they can insult you because, you know, it's not their fault that they don't know your area of research. Yet they manage the whole division. Okay, sure. That's precisely why I think actual scientists make better managers. But we kind of don't have time for this shit and it's not our vibe. So leave us alone. We don't want that job. We want to complain. Wir wollen uns einfach nur aufregen. So, what do you answer to that person? Besten Dank für die Informationen. Besten Dank für den Hinweis. Werde ich mir ansehen. Of course you don't, but danke für das Update. Die Seite ist wirklich sehr hilfreich. Ich würde das direkt noch an die Abteilung weiterleiten. And then you send it on the way to the ones who really need this. Viele Grüße. Beste Grüße. Your sign. What do you do if you have a micromanaging boss? Boss in German is Chef. Yeah, like the chef that cooks you food. Boss sounds a little bit more harsh than chef. Chef is softer in a way. I can't explain that. It's just like boss sounds very American. Wer ist hier der Boss? Wer ist hier der Chef? Chef just sound friendlier. Now your boss is coming over, obviously. He or she has too much time on their hands, bombarding you with all these detail requests that you can't possibly manage at that point in time. But you know, your neurotischer, detailbesessener Chef or your neurotische, detailbesessene Chefin goes away faster if you just nod and say yes, and they will vanish into their office and leave you alone. So you can do your actual work and not implement their weird nice to have crap for the sales department that wants some quirky, cool new USP, which is really not your job as a developer. Because that is innovation ad crap. Yeah, I'm reading this off my laptop. Gut, dass du so einen Blick fürs Detail hast. Am besten, du gibst mir das schriftlich. Let them do the work. Let them sit there for half an hour and type in the fucking email if they want it. Because, oh, you can't remember that. But if they want to do it right away, okay, cool. Lass mich das aufschreiben. So they think you take them seriously. You're writing it all down. And then maybe there is some good idea and they're like 1 in 100 or something. And then they'll leave you alone. And when you have the time, you can think about implementing their gimmick shit. Gut, dass du so einen Blick fürs Detail hast. Am besten du gibst mir es schriftlich. Am besten du schickst mir das per E-Mail. Schick mir das doch einfach per E-Mail. Ich guck's mir dann an. Now, one of my all-time favorites, unsolicited advice. Who doesn't love it? If you want to say something that amounts to, I appreciate your perspective, I'll definitely consider it, you can say, oh ja, guter Punkt, werde ich drüber nachdenken. Ja, ich denke drüber nach. Merke ich mir, guter Punkt. However, when is unsolicited advice best served? Of course, when you are the expert, but the other person doesn't really know that and doesn't care to ask, even if it's quite obvious. So you go like, oh yeah, this concept is really interesting. We had that in like the second semester. You know what I thought was really cool back then? So you say that in German is, oh ja, das Konzept ist echt interessant. Das hatten wir auch im zweiten Semester damals. Was ich ja besonders cool fand, war, das Thema scheint dich ja echt zu interessieren. Falls du eine Buchempfehlung brauchst, sag mir Bescheid, ich habe etliches zu Hause. Am I to mean at this point? It's years and years and years of dealing with these people. No, I think I'm fine. I mean, you don't have to be this petty. I hope it is clear to everyone that these videos are a little bit sarcastic. Now, you can also imply that you have actually worked with this topic intensively before, such as, ja, die Frage habe ich mir am Anfang meiner Dissertation auch gestellt. Ja, die Frage habe ich mir am Anfang meiner Masterarbeit, Bachelorarbeit auch gestellt. And then I solved the problem. And now I know. That's mean. That's kind of mean. Don't say that. I mean, unless the other person is really giving you shit, you know. Oh ja, den Fehler habe ich am Anfang auch immer gemacht. Aber das ist eigentlich gar nicht so schwer. Now, in general, I think it's kind of rude to be mean to people who don't know better. But if they're being arrogant about not knowing better, then it's warranted. Now, what do you do if your passive-aggressive, weird-ass coworkers are blaming you for some shit? For instance, there are like 50 color printed pages and they think it's you. Or they're offended because, I don't know, they're just chronically offended. And you can say something to the amount of, I'm sorry you feel that way. You know how you're not really sorry, but you're kind of happy you are not this person? Yeah. So you say, schade, dass du das so siehst. Wirklich schade, dass du das so siehst. Echt schade, dass du das so siehst. Or you emphasize that you understand they feel that way, but shift the focus on problem solving. As in, oh ja, nervig, aber was können wir jetzt tun, um das zu ändern? Was kann ich jetzt konkret für dich machen? You can also point out that this was not quite obvious. Maybe it was to them, but not to you. Oh, das war mir gar nicht klar. Warum hast du denn nicht schon eher was gesagt? Warum hast du nichts gesagt? Implying that if they had said something, you would have helped or changed whatever they wanted you to change. So it's on them for not saying anything and expecting you to read their fucking mind. Da findet sich bestimmt eine Lösung. Oh, das war mir gar nicht klar. Warum hast du nichts gesagt? Das können wir direkt gleich beim Mittagessen besprechen. And if they insist on you being the person who did something wrong, then you can just shift the attention to them then explaining it better to you. Just like, das wusste ich gar nicht. Kannst du mir das nochmal zeigen? I didn't know. Can you show me? Oh, ich dachte, das musste man so machen. Wo ist denn der Unterschied? Oh, I thought I had to do it this way. What's the difference? Gut zu wissen für nächstes Mal. Good to know for next time. And the classic, the dishwasher. There's always this one dishwasher super nerd who just likes the dishwasher being filled in a very, very certain way that only they understand. And I'm kind of that person, but I'm also the person that doesn't care enough to be obsessed with this shit. And several times at the office, a coworker of mine, who is even more of a dishwasher nerd than me, and I didn't think that was possible, he would come in and then accuse me of filling the dishwasher the wrong way, as in not his way. Needless to say, he was also the chief of security. Cybersecurity, not real security. So in that case, you can say, oh ja, das regt mich auch immer auf. Keine Ahnung, wer das immer so lässt. Keine Ahnung, wer das immer ist. Das regt mich auch immer auf. That annoys me too. Keine Ahnung, wer das immer ist. No idea who is that. Wer das ist, wer das macht, is implying who's doing that. Who is it? Who was that? You don't need another verb. You can just use ist. Keine Ahnung, wer das immer so lässt. No idea who always leaves it like that. Or You can go the high road and be like, okay, alles klar. Okay, thanks. Okay, all clear. I understand. Ach so, das wusste ich nicht. Alles klar. Oh, I didn't know. Okay then. Just be friendly. They can't really hate you for being friendly. And it does something that we call den Wind aus den Segeln nehmen. To take someone's wind away from their sails, so they have no reason to continue this argument. It kind of takes away their verbal weapon, if you will. And especially if you're being friendly, people will be friendly back. I mean, that's universal, but just from having to deal with various workplaces in Germany, whenever you are just being friendly, even if someone is belittling you, but they expect you to belittle them back. You can do that. I gave you some examples how to do that. But in general, I don't think it's a good idea unless, you really don't depend on that person and they have been doing that for a while. Other than that, it's better to be like, oh yeah, cool, great. And then just do your work, because your work will speak for you. And if it doesn't, it's not the right company anyway. In general, I would avoid snarky responses that deal with a passive-aggressive person passive-aggressively. That's exactly what they want. Don't do that. Avoid stuff like, reg dich doch nicht auf. Don't get mad. Like, are they a little child? Maybe. In their brain they still are. But you are not. You're better than that. Ich wollte nur helfen. It's one of my favorites. You didn't ask for help, you didn't want their help. And then they go tell you like how their help is so awesome, but you didn't want it? Oh, you poor little thing. Don't be like them. Wer nicht will, der hat schon. Who doesn't want it already has some. Guess you already have what you need. It's not really easy to translate. There is no real English equivalent, but it basically amounts to, if you don't want the help, then you're obviously good at your own. Which, yeah, might be true, but they're saying that to rub it in, as in, so you don't need my help because you're better than me. Which is totally not what you said, but they're trying to twist it that way. Don't say that either. It's rude and snarky. Musst du wissen. That can be friendly, semi-friendly, or rude, but just know if somebody says to you, musst du wissen, or muss jeder selbst wissen. Everyone gotta decide for themselves. Hint, hint. They can mean that, like if it's a friend, they can say, musst du wissen. Ich halte mich da raus. I don't participate in this decision. It's your decision, and I question it a little bit, but it's your decision. They can say that in a respectful way, but if they say it in a different tone, like, musst du wissen, they just want to let you know that they think your decision is shit. And last but not least, I think, even if it's true, it's mostly not helpful to go about your mistakes by admitting them rather than providing new solutions and just making it part of the process. Especially if you deal with passive-aggressive people, they just want to win. They don't want a solution for everyone, they want to win for themselves. So if you answer with something like, oh ja, mein Fehler, mein Fehler, sorry. By the way, you can always say sorry in German. Entschuldigung. Unless it's really your mistake, don't give them Angriffsfläche, target surface to bully you. Rather focus on the problem solving than the mistake addressing, if you will. It's important to address problems to solve them, but it's not at all important, as in to move on. To rub in someone's mistake forever and ever and drive home some point and how they fucked up. If people can't let stuff go and move on, no company benefits from that. That's time wasted at the workplace. I personally like to step away from conversations like this if I can't. Shift the focus to problem solving. I will be like, oh, ich muss jetzt weiter an dem und dem arbeiten. Ich muss jetzt leider noch kurz jemanden anrufen. Ich würde mir noch einen Kaffee holen. Willst du mitkommen? Lass uns später nochmal drüber reden. Ich bin ab so und so viel Uhr wieder im Büro. Oftentimes, if you just shift the debate to a later point in time, that already solves it, because maybe the person just needed something to eat to be in a better mood. And then they had time to process it, think about it, and realize that, like every sane adult, peace at the workplace is more important than getting one bonus point for being right that one time. Alright, these were my examples of German semi-polite office language to use with overbearing people. Hope this helped. End of video.